evacuation orders lifted.
You live with this threat all the time, and it's increasing.
Boulder residents return home as crews fight the NCAR fire.
It was really frightening, especially given what has just happened.
Tonight, the latest on their progress, plus where we will see fire danger tomorrow.
Missing out on a theatrical run used to be the kiss of death.
I'm of the old school.
These days, it's just business.
It's definitely the cat's out of the bag that's not going back.
We're going 360 on streaming and what it means for cinema.
Cheers, laughs, and history. Some of the best moments from tonight's Academy Awards.
This is dedicated to the deaf community, the CODA community, and the disabled community. This is our moment.
And some of the most talked about moments.
Oh, wow!
And we will get to the Will Smith confrontation in just a moment. We begin tonight with a sigh of relief. All evacuation orders from the NCAR fire in Boulder now lifted.
So the wildfire started Saturday afternoon. It's burning just about 5 miles from where the Marshall fire began in late December. The city of Boulder says firefighters have made sizable progress. In fact, right now containment is at 35%.
So let's get to tonight's team coverage. Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson's tracking the threat for more fires. First tonight, Denver 7's Ivan Rodriguez is live in Boulder, hearing from neighbors getting to return home. Ivan?
And almost immediately after those evacuation orders were lifted, we saw people return to their homes here in Devil's Thumb with an overall feeling of gratitude to the firefighters on the front lines. Sunday afternoon, life returned to many Boulder neighborhoods evacuated just hours before.
And we got the message that we were allowed to come back. It was just a huge sigh of relief, because you don't know for sure, that things are going your way.
For many families forced to evacuate, memories of the Marshall fire were fresh in their minds.
I think we understand what we're living with, and so you see this happening, the puff of smoke, and you understand immediately that this is something that is going to escalate and probably will escalate very quickly.
Thankfully, firefighters are getting the upper hand.
Today was a good day. We're really happy to, reinforce the point that we've lost no structures, that we've had no reportable injuries, and we continue to get a lot of good work done.
Hard work that doesn't go unnoticed by people living near the burn scars.
Gratitude. I mean, it's simple as that. It's gratitude towards the emergency service, the first responders, the city, all the different agencies.
But within the joy of returning home, a sense of concern looms.
I'm thrilled, and I am really concerned about, what's happening to our planet, and the degree and the frequency of these events is really frightening and gives us pause.
A concern many communities across Colorado live with in the aftermath of the Marshall fire. We're told about 150 firefighters and 30 agencies have been helping contain the fire. Smoke is also expected to be seen for the next week. Live in Boulder, Ivan Rodriguez, Denver 7.
Ivan, thank you. So as people in Boulder go back home, other communities are staring down the threat of wildfires.
Meteorologist Stacey Donaldson here tonight showing us where we will see the risk of more fires tomorrow. Stace?
That's right. We had such improvement today out toward the NCAR fire, where the winds really died down. Our humidity levels went up. So we did see the firefighters make some progress. Now, that's not going to be the case tomorrow. Farther to our south, we have red flag warnings for high fire danger here south of Denver, all the way down into southeastern Colorado for gusty winds, low humidity, and high temperatures. And this is just outside the metro area, down toward Castle Rock, into Colorado Springs and Pueblo, and down into the southeastern part of our state. And temperatures tomorrow will be even warmer than what we had today. So we're expecting a high of 80 here in Denver, with those 80s stretching all the way through the areas under the red flag warning. So we are going to keep a close eye on this area before our next cold front with snow and rain moves through the state, and I'll have all the details on that coming up.
All right, thanks. So, think about this. For many people in Boulder County, the sight of wildfire smoke can bring back traumatizing memories of the Marshall fire.
Absolutely. But as Denver 7's Christian Lopez explains, the county was better prepared this time.
Not again. It's just too soon. We've had one in December, now March.
It's a story all too familiar for some. Elliot Bloom was one of the thousands in Boulder forced out by another wildfire.
But as much as you try to get ready, have your box ready, have your stuff ready for the fire, it's just you never know what to take, and you're never always prepared, all the way prepared.
The NCAR fire sparking just miles away from where flames tore through more than 1,000 homes 3 months ago.
The Marshall fire is kind of on the tip of everyone's tongue, and so I think that's fresh in everyone's mind, and that's kind of why everyone took this very seriously.
crews say this time around, good preparation and planning played a key role. During a press conference Sunday, officials said this has all been a group effort. Hundreds of firefighters from several different agencies have been coming together to battle this fire and protect all of these homes.
One of the things that we learned from the Marshall Fire was how to rapidly escalate and integrate multiple agencies and get them to work together. And I think we had a much more seamless process on this one. We continue to learn from every one of these fires, and we certainly saw an improvement.
It's very comforting to know that we have this much help around us.
While he's thankful to have a place to stay for the time being, his concerns haven't gone away.
Until I can get home and get settled, it's just, you're kind of on edge. It's just how it is.
In Boulder, Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
NCU Boulder classes Monday will go on as scheduled. Any students or faculty impacted by the NCAR fire should contact their instructors or supervisors to discuss accommodations.
And Denver 7 will be keeping close watch, I assure you, for development of this NCAR fire. You can find updates on air and online, thedenverchannel.com, and of course on the free Denver 7 Plus app. All right. Now to the Oscars. What a night at the Academy Awards.
And we will get to some of the award highlights in a moment. First, that one moment that everyone is talking about tonight. Take a listen.
Richard! Oh, wow! Wow! Will Smith.
Yeah, so Chris Rock, just moments before, made a joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Will then, as you saw, went up on stage and, well, apparently hit Rock in the face. Audio was cut off from the broadcast for several seconds, and then after Smith went back to his seat, he started yelling and cursing at Rock not to talk about his wife. Now, Rock had made an apparent joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's hair. And for some background here, Jada Pinkett Smith has been very open about being diagnosed with alopecia, dealing with hair loss. So, just moments later, Smith, as you know, won the Oscar for Best Actor for his role in King Richard. So during his acceptance speech, he addressed what happened. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes.
Are you excited to announce Best Picture?
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
Oscar goes to...
Okay, Coda.
So among the glitz and the glam and the drama, also a big night of first in the 94th Academy Awards tonight.
Sean Hayter's Coda took home the Best Picture Award, making its mark for representation of the deaf community. Coda also won Best Adapted Screenplay.
And history also was made tonight. On top of the other two awards, Troy Kotsur, who plays Frank Rossi in the film Coda, won Best Actor in a supporting role. And this is his very first Academy Award nomination.
This is dedicated to the deaf community, the Coda community, and the disabled community. This is our moment.
He is now the second deaf actor to win an Oscar.
Ariana DeBose also making history, winning the title of Best Actress in a supporting role, starring as Anita in the 2021 adaptation of West Side Story. Now, DeBose became the first Afro-Latina and first openly queer woman of color to win an Oscar. She is only the second Latina in the Academy's history to win an Oscar.
So to anybody who has ever questioned your identity, ever, or you find yourself living in the gray spaces, I promise you this, there is indeed a place for us.
Now, the first Latina to win an Oscar was Rita Moreno, who also played Anita in the 1961 film West Side Story. And the representation continues even in the animated realm. Disney's Encanto won Best Animated Feature Film, directed by Jared Bush and Byron Howard, and produced by Yvette Marino, Clark Spencer.
Now, after that wild confrontation between Chris Rock and Will Smith, Smith won the Oscar for King Richard, Best Actor Oscar, and then had to give a speech in front of the whole world with that moment fresh on everyone's mind. So I want to take a moment and listen to what a tearful Smith had to say.
I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. This is a beautiful moment. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said. I look like crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams. But love will make you do crazy things.
In the movie there, he plays the father of Venus and Serena Williams. Now, this is Will Smith's first Oscar in his 33-year acting career. Now, another surprise tonight, the winner for Best Actress.
Jessica Chastain took home the gold tonight for her role as Tammy Faye in the movie The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and this is Chastain's first Oscar win.
There's just no time to die.
And it was a night of live performances as well. Billie Eilish performed her song No Time to Die, an original song for the movie of the same name, and it went on to win an Oscar for Best Original Song. And this is Billie Eilish's first Oscar.
And Jane Campion won Best Director for her film Power of the Dog. Campion, the third woman ever to win Best Director. Catherine Bigelow won it for The Hurt Locker. Chloe Zhao for last year, just for Nomadland.
And even if they didn't win Best Picture, the film Dune absolutely dominated the other categories. It won 6 Oscars for Best Sound, Original Score, Film Editing, Production Design, Cinematography, and Visual Effects.
What a night. And studios and theaters typically rely on a post-Oscar boost in business.
Well, this year it's the streamers who will likely see the most benefit. The Power of the Dog, Coda, Dune, Drive My Car, they are all available right now on HBO Max, Netflix, Apple TV+. Even still, theaters are betting you'd have a better time watching the same movie with them instead of on your couch.
The ease of access of being able to watch a film at home is great for people who need it that way, but unless you're willing to devote turning off your phone, putting all your problems to bed, whatever, so that you literally can just sit there and do nothing else. That's the next step that people have to make for themselves, but we take care of that for you here at the theater.
So, that's one perspective. Here with several more, Denver 7's Russell Haythorne and tonight's 360 Report.
These days, we certainly don't lack for choices. Movie-going, or rather movie-watching, has changed a lot during the pandemic.
The business is having to reimagine itself.
Fewer theatrical releases, more direct to streaming.
It's a whole different experience.
So let's write the screenplay for this 360, a script about theaters versus streaming, and where the experts and people just like you see the future going in terms of how we catch a flick.
I'm of the old school. I like the act of going to the movie theater.
Let's start right there.
So I'm Alan Dominguez. I am a film instructor at CEC Early College in Denver. I'm also an independent filmmaker specializing mostly in the documentary space.
As an award-winning documentarian, Alan believes there's no better way to experience a movie than on the big screen.
You want to see a bunch of strangers sitting in a theater experiencing a story that they've never seen before. And when it's your story, it's very, very special. It's magical. It's interacting in real time with that audience.
That's the beauty of the theater.
Movie buff Tom Clark couldn't agree more.
The theater experience it's magical. It's what brings the silver screen to light. That's the Christmas spark. Before the pandemic, you used to go and there was a crowd of people, and now you go and you're maybe one of 3 or 5 people in the audience. You can't experience it the same.
Even the movie directory outside one of Tom's favorite theaters is no longer the same.
And it would have a listing of all the different shows. You don't see anything, you just see Regal Unlimited.
It's a supply and demand business.
Those who make the movies are well aware.
So I'm Mitch Dickman. I'm the CEO and founder of Listen Productions, which is a full-service production company based in Denver, Colorado.
It comes as no surprise to Mitch when studios like 20th Century announce by 2023 they'll be producing 10+ movies for streaming and only 2 or 3 for theatrical release.
The cat's out of the bag and it's not going back. I think they're still experimenting, but it's definitely going to be a partnership. You can't just do one or the other.
Take these 3 friends, for example.
Definitely Disney Plus.
Lee, Tracy, and Jake represent that cross-section of consumers studios clamor for. Streamers plus moviegoers.
I haven't come across something that I can't find on Amazon.
And it's like not the same. I'd rather be in a big comfy chair that I don't have at home, and have food that I don't have at home, and the experience with the loud speakers, the nice trailers, and when I'm walking out, I'm like, wow, that experience was like great, not just the movie.
That's the magic movie makers want you to feel, but the reality is streaming is a much broader platform. It allows viewers access to a larger pool of smaller indie films, some that never would have been made without streaming. But the shift is also causing major backlash, like actress Scarlett Johansson suing Disney for breach of trust after they released Black Widow in cinemas and on Disney Plus at the same time.
And now a lot of the streamers are going for prestige and awards play, so it's just as important for them to get you hooked on Tiger King as it is to have something nominated for an Oscar.
The good news for theaters is that most will survive. According to Variety, theater revenues in North America reached $4.4 billion in 2021, up 91% from 2020, but still down from 2019. The major studios have slated 71 films to open in theaters this year. That's only 10 fewer than 2019 before the pandemic. And the beauty of the theater experience has not changed. Not for moviegoers.
Hot dogs, popcorn.
Not for movie makers.
I like sitting in a room with strangers and experiencing a story that is completely unknown to all of us. I love the magic of that.
Because you can watch it on your phone or on your laptop.
Yeah.
But you won't get half the experience because you want to hear like your eyeballs shaking in your skull.
If it's a comedy, you want to hear them laugh. If it's a horror, you want to hear them, ooh. If it's a suspense or a thriller, you want to be on that roller coaster with the people.
Oh yeah, the tears when you're actually all sad.
Just that collective experience and being there with your audience.
Russell Haythorne.
It's absolutely special.
Denver 7.
All right, so let's hear it now. Have you been to a movie theater in the last year?
Have you?
I have, one.
If not, what's stopping you? We know it can certainly get expensive, especially if you have kids. So we'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this? Share them with an email to 360@thedenverchannel.com. And still ahead tonight, peace talks set to resume, but what the president of Ukraine wants Russia to guarantee before agreeing to any peace deal.
Also remembering victims of how Ukrainians here in Colorado honoring those lost from conflicts past and present.